it's Dr. K, and this is the truth about mental illness. Welcome back, everyone, to the greatest mental health and wellness journey of our lifetime. I'm so excited that I get to be the one to bring this to you, and thank you for continuing to just hang out with me on this life journey. Shout out to our caregivers and our ally angels. You know we love to love you. We are still in the month of September, so we're still addressing suicide and suicide prevention awareness. So again, resources if you feel triggered or emotionally unsettled in any way and you need to reach out to someone immediately, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. You can text that line number. You can also text hashtag 741-741, which is the National Crisis Text Line. And let me just free you up right quick, okay? If you feel like you are in an emotional crisis, then you are in an emotional crisis. This is not determined by anybody else but you, not your friends, not your family. Oh, girl, that ain't nothing. If it's something to you, then it's something to you. Okay, so don't go based on what other people say. You go based on how you feel. Do not be afraid to reach out to a professional in this space to help see you through. Okay, so we're going to talk today, as I mentioned, or as I posted, about activities that we can all get engaged in as it relates to amplifying awareness around suicide prevention, reducing stigma, and creating safe spaces for people to be able to express how they feel without judgment, right? Again, hey, it's Dr. K. The Truth About Mental Illness is all about affirming and empowering people with mental illness like myself for who they are, where they are, meeting us where we are, and just stripping judgment and assumptions completely out of the conversation. So before we get to that, I want to highlight what the World Health Organization Regional Director for Southeast Asia says about World Suicide Prevention Day, which is observed on September 10th of 2024. And I know I'm a day late, but guess what? I'm the only person here doing all this. So we are where we are. But again, the purpose in this space is to raise awareness, and the triennial theme for this World Suicide Prevention Day is changing the narrative, and the call to action is starting the conversation. So if you not started this conversation, or if you not amplified your knowledge in this space until now, this is a great place and a great time to start. It is never too late to start having a conversation about a critical public health priority such as suicide and suicide prevention. So we want to highlight the opportunity to have these open dialogues and conversations, and we'll talk about that when I get into these activities. So we want to change the narrative on suicide. It's transformative. Changing the narrative on suicide is absolutely transformative, and I'll leave you with something that came to me in that space of transformation. It impacts how we perceive suicide. Suicide is very complex. The thoughts around it are complex, just like addiction is complex. Mental illness is complex. It's never really just ever just one thing. It's usually a number of things. So we want to move away from this culture of silence and taboo as it relates to suicide and suicide prevention, and actually start stepping into open dialogues, open conversations, open discussions about this, conversations that are intentional and meaningful, ones that promote understanding and support. All right, so I know I said I wasn't going to weigh us down with data, but for the sake of today's conversation, I want us to be able to feel comfortable in activating and responding to this call to action by knowing what we're up against. So more than 720,000 people around the globe, unfortunately, complete suicide every year. Suicide is also the third leading cause of death among persons ages 15 to 29 years old around the globe. In the U.S., it is the second leading cause of death among that same age group. I think it's somewhere between about 15 and 24 years old. In that space, 73% of global suicides occur in low to middle income countries. And reasons for suicide, again, they're multifaceted. There's a lot of factors that contribute to this. So it's not just one thing. Someone just woke up and was like, oh, okay. Not at all. Not at all. There are biological factors, there are societal factors, there are social factors, there are social psychological factors, there are environmental factors. All of these things that are happening to us in our lives across the entire lifespan developmentally, all are factors that contribute to the act of suicide. So let me ask you this. Have you ever been speechless? I know it doesn't seem like I have, but I promise I have. been speechless and kind of just felt like, I really want to say something to this person, but I don't really know like how to say it or when to say it or all that, anything like that. I have felt like that before, believe it or not. But I'm going to encourage you to lean into that feeling, press past that. Let that feeling guide you into a conversation that you may need to have with someone. But make sure when you're having that conversation, you're doing it, you know what I'm saying, from the right place and the right space, that it is truly something that you are wanting to broach or whatever for that person, that it's not coming from, just you. And so this is something that kind of fell out of my mouth when I was doing a speaking engagement. Y'all need to invite me to your spaces. I promise. I'm gonna go through some of these activities I saw online, and I was like, yep, I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. But I think the conversation was around the speaking engagement I was doing was around behavioral health in the workspace. So let me give you a practical high level understanding of what I just said, which is that if you are at work and you notice something different about a colleague, and maybe they're crying in the bathroom, and you have a relationship with them, kind of like, oh, hey, so-and-so, but not really. You notice that they do go to lunch with another person. You know that they may even be friends with somebody outside of work, from work. You go to that person and say, hey, so-and-so's crying in the bathroom. Like, I think, I know you guys hang out, you go to lunch, a lot. You might want to like nudge them and like kind of talk to them and see if they're okay. I haven't seen them like this before. Or I noticed that they've been feeling or looking sad more often. So you have that one conversation with that person. Then you come back maybe 2 or 3 weeks later and you notice the same behavior from that person. That's your prompt to say something. You don't have to wait and go through like other people, okay, in order to reach out to that person. Don't let them being upset with you, chase you into fear about just asking them, how are they doing? People say that to me. Oh, hey, Dr. K, how are you doing? Sometimes I just say, I'm here. I mean, because it's true. I'm here. You say I'm here. I say I'm here. I'm here. Maybe I'm not having a good day. I'm here. Or if somebody says, what's up? Then I might say, everything and not enough. I say that all the time because it's true. What's up? Everything and not enough. I bet you could probably say that too. If you are having conversations like more than once about someone to another person, hopefully not to other people, because then that's just flat out gossip, right? Then maybe that should be your point of awareness or your red flag to say, you know what, let me just connect with this person, on my own. That could be, helpful. So we don't want to create these, negative silos. I think that's kind of part of the reason why I fell into this space. And if my group, my tiny group of friends were all together sitting around a table and one said to the other, oh, I'm sure she told you about this, and that, they would be like, what? Tell me about what? They wouldn't be able to say anything because I don't talk about people. If you tell me something, I truly believe that you're telling me that information. I'm never to assume that you told this person, that person, this person, that person. Unless it's like something like, oh, we went skiing, or, we went tubing, or, we went to the park, or, just like fun light things. But not the serious, deep, emotional, I'm going through something, everybody else needs to know, what you told me type of stuff. Why do I operate in that way? Because I truly believe, for this very reason here that I'm talking about, is that it's doing more harm than it is good. Because it's not any value proposition for the person who's still in pain. And I don't like that. So I just, kind of just really stay away from spaces like that. So just kind of think about that as your barometer when you are engaging with other people about someone that you may have a concern about. Hold that confidence, because I need my friends to know that they can land on me as a safe space, a space of support, not of gossip. Like, I need to know that when I tell you something, that I'm literally telling you something, not for you to go tell your mom, your dad, your siblings, your coworkers, your faith community. It's not for that. It's my life. I need to know that when I confide in you, then that's it. So I need them to know that reciprocity is there for them as well. So maybe just kind of hang your hat on that layer of possible being able to push through, the fear that you may have about broaching this topic of, depression, anxiety, mental illness, addiction. If you notice something that seems a little different, happening with someone, it's okay. You can speak up. You could talk. You could vocalize yourself in a caring, meaningful, and intentional way. So let's get into some pretty cool activities, and I'm going to put these in the comments section, because these are from, I believe these were from the World Health Organization and IASP, but NAMI, National Association on Mental Illness, has great resources and toolkits. The federal arm, SAMHSA, they have toolkits. Y'all, there are toolkits for everything out here. So just know that when we're talking about suicide prevention, mental illness, and addiction, we are not void of ways that we can Google and find a whole host of ideas that might spark other ideas based on where we are, to be able to engage people about overall emotional health and wellness. So here's some activities. You can launch new initiatives. It could be something maybe on your website. If you're a business, that lets people that come to your website know, oh, wow, this business is dope. This industry is fire. Like, y'all are not afraid to just put it right out on your homepage this whole month of September. And then you amplify, changing the narrative and starting the conversation during World Suicide Prevention Day. Like, oh, wow, this industry is lit. This is great. Like, you actually care about emotional beings to the point that you are not afraid to blast it on your websites. So that would be really cool. You can also create policies or strategies that help you as an organization amplify your community's awareness and let them know that you take this very seriously. You can hold press conferences. You can do educational seminars or panels. You can invite me in for any of these things, because this is literally what I do. Obviously, I talk about this stuff all day, every day. You could do speaking engagements. I love customized trainings or customized speaking engagements. And I love being able to do it out of this specific space of telling my truth and what that looks like for mental illness, like telling my story. That is so empowering for me, which is why I'm in this space, because there's always somebody in the audience that was just like, dang, she said something. That is how I have been feeling. Like, I just didn't know what words or what language to use, or wow, so yes, there's another person that feels like this. Now, I no longer feel like I'm the only person that feels like this, and the world that I'm in, the environment that I'm in, that's further perpetuating these thoughts that I'm having, these emotions that I feel like I'm reacting to all the time. Oh my God, Dr. K feels like that too. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You are not alone. I am not alone. You are not alone. I do feel like that sometimes. I do. So there's nothing wrong with that. So invite me to your space. I promise you, we're going to have a good time. We always have a good time. You can do press conferences by lining up people in your community that are influencers, right? I am good for a cold call. What do I mean? I've seen people on different social media platforms that are doing, really, great things. And if I feel like, whoa, I feel like your brain trust plus what we need, that's fire. I will call you from wherever you are. It could be DC, Florida, whatever. That's the mindset you need to have. So if you are in California and you are watching this and you're like, hey, we need that lady's brain trust, I'm here for you. Let's go. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone, send an email, drop it into the direct message, and reach out. That's literally what I'm here for. You do not have to go at this stuff alone. We can put our minds together. We can create strategies. We can be innovative, which I love being with people, especially if you're maybe outside of the industry in this space of behavioral health, but you're in a whole nother industry. I know the website is done. The electronic press kit is done. The electronic press kit is already in circulation. So if you want to see my electronic press kit, send me a direct message right now. And I promise you, as soon as I get it, I'll send it to you. So you can see a little peek before the actual launch of all the services and the different things that I am available to you for. And you can start to circulate that and invite me to your spaces. We can have these concerted conversations. I also, as I shared, did a film screening or did a journey video for the purpose of film screening, but that's on this topic list too. And I saw that, like, yes, I have done this before. I have seen films and I have, organized different conversations and talks around these films to get people into a space that is safe to talk about mental illness and to talk about suicide prevention. So that's another idea that's available to you. You can do memorial services. You could do candlelight ceremonies. You can put candles in your window, like I said, at home, that have like a purple light or a purple and teal light, depending on, your windows, just to amplify the awareness of mental illness and suicide prevention. You can have yard signs. I have yard signs, y'all. I sure do. I have 988 yard signs and crisis text line yard signs. Why? Because people drive by my house. I don't know if they're in a crisis. What if they are? It's 3 digits. 988. You got it. What if you're in an emotional crisis and you drive by Dr. K's house? Boom. There you go. There's your resources. You can organize a concert. I saw this and thought, wow, you could organize a concert. It could be a big blowout concert of local talent, or it could be youth at a community center. It's whatever you make it. Just make sure you have the best practices and the resources at hand before you get started. Happy to do stuff like that. You can also do an event or an engagement for every meal of the day. You can start when you're like, oh, we're gonna have a breakfast. Maybe you do a breakfast annually, and this is what you do. You bring in different speakers to have conversations, help you have conversations about behavioral health or mental illness or suicide prevention awareness. You can do a luncheon, you can do a dinner, you can do contests, you can do fairs. Fairs are great because you can bring different community providers into your space to pass out, do passive or active engagement in learning about their resources. These things work, y'all. I'm telling you, they work. I've done these things before. They totally work. So any of those things are cool activities. There's several others on here that I would love for you to take a peek at. So what can you do today? What can you do tomorrow, the next day, October 1st, right? My brain disorders, like I said, they're still here. Okay, October 1st, still gonna be here. What can you do to help just amplify the awareness that suicide is indeed a public health priority? You can do a walk. That's another thing you could do. I've done opening remarks to suicide prevention awareness walks before. I'm looking forward to engaging in a walk coming up in October. That happens every year in this space. So I'll drop a link into the comment section about this, but let me just read something to you all that I wrote down. I had a thought about as we close out our time together today. And it says, what if a society within a society rose up as an overwhelming collective and decided upon no fear in approaching the realities of suicide and suicide prevention? Everyone can prevent suicide. You are not alone. I promise you, I'm literally right here with you. Like, hi, it's me, suicide prevention awareness. You are not alone. Crisis text line 741-741. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline 988. If you feel like you are in a crisis, then you are in a crisis. Reach out to either one of those resources. That's all I have for today. Until next time, unto the nations.